Hi everyone. Today well, because it's sort of here, Jack is in shed at the moment, and honestly, he doesn't like being in shed at all, and he mopes around. He's a misery bag. he just does not enjoy it. And I guess, when you think about it, this is a big task, and they know it is, and they conserve energy, and it's a length of time too, because a big snake just takes so much longer to actually prime. And for me, in some ways, because my snakes so love being out and about and exploring and so forth, they go into shed, and I know they want to come out, but there's that other part of them that tells them it's time to chill, rest, to get ready to shed. So as you can see, normally Jack will hide away. He puts himself in a hide, and I don't see him. He just wants to be left alone. But I actually got up this morning, and here he is, totally out of his hide. And I've got to say, guys, it's getting a bit big for these particular hides. So I am so looking forward to putting him into his bigger enclosure. Now, it's not bigger in length, but it's going to give him a little bit more in width and height. So I'm hoping that will suffice for Jack. It may not. I may decide that he needs an even bigger one. But I think the step up in size is going to be better than this one at this particular point. So I really do need to move my butt and get that going for him. Snakes don't take up a lot of space. They ultimately curl up in a spot, and that's where they tend to be happy to be. But when you have snakes that don't and aren't bought out of their enclosure, then that's definitely not big enough for your snake, a 1200 by 500 by 500. It doesn't give them enough space to stretch out and exercise. So Jack is just laying there. Hello, dude. You in shed, buddy? Yes, I am, and I don't like it, Mum. I just don't like being in shed at all. Now, I don't know whether he'll come out. He has been, actually, pink belly and all, and normally that isn't Jack. But, they switch it up on you all the time. Why all of a sudden is he okay in coming out while he's in shed? I don't know, he just wants to. So, anyway, that's Jack in shed. But I want to talk to you a little bit about yesterday. A Pani was due for a feed. So, are you okay, bud? Do you want me to close the door? It's a little bit right now about keeping the humidity up for Jack. He has not gone opaque as yet, but his eyes are certainly, that cloudy. I don't know if you can see, but for me, his eyes are clouding over, and they'll be opaque probably tomorrow for Jack. But I want to talk a little bit, if you can see this little shed here, which has a bit of a cut sort of rip here, a Pani shed. But what I wanted to say was I actually fed her. I knew she was going to shed, but a Pani's a good little eater, so even if my snakes are in shed, I still offer them their meal, basically. But in doing that, she, of course, had a fat little belly, and she shed down to this particular part, and it was so tight over that bulge that she was struggling to get that shed off. So I got her out, and I actually had to snip it at this particular point to loosen it up for her, and then I just held it quite firmly, and she got herself completely out of it. I didn't, she did the work. I didn't do it. I just held this for her so that she could crawl out of it. And her head come off, everything was fine. So, but she just had too big a bulge in her belly just to get past this particular point. So, that's another thing. If your snake is comfortable for you to help them while they're in shed, why not? It is a big job for them, and if your snakes trust you and feel safe with you, they'll be happy for you to give them a helping hand. Hey Jack, and Mum's done with that with you a few times. Not every time, but some of the time I actually have. I am going to close his door because I want to keep the humidity up for him. At the moment it's winter and we have heaters going, so pretty much it sucks the humidity out of the air. And I do have a couple of things that humidify this air here in this room. Outside it's like 52% odd humidity, but in their enclosures, between the heat, me heating the room, the humidity goes down. So if they're in shed, especially when they're in shed, I will, mist out their enclosures for them a couple of times. Don't drench it, but just moisten it up and increase the humidity. Now why I'm coming over here is because even though you will not be able to see Missy Maya here, but she's currently in shed. Now Maya especially is a snake that hides herself away. Try not to have that blurred, but you can see her. She won't come out, guys. She is quite content to stay in there, and whether that be a week or 2 weeks, she'll hide away. And when she comes out, I know that's when she's going to shed. So till then, she hides herself away. Of course, Lily, she is completely different again. She never hides away. She never lets the shedding process, sorry guys, slow her down at all. She takes it a little bit more easy, but certainly doesn't tuck herself away in a hide. She's quite comfortable for me to help her when she's in shed. But, there will be times where you may have to help your snake. And if a snake, it's due to humidity levels, it can be due to the species of snake. I know so many spotteds that have difficulty when they shed. Maya, I can put it down to she had been unwell, and remember that too. If your snake is not well, they could very much so not have a very good shed. So you just may have to help them, and that may not always be putting them in water and soaking them. you can mist them down, and sometimes that's enough. Sometimes it's not, and you may have to soak them in a bath. And please, when you do that, do not have the water deep, and do not leave your snake. Be there, watch your snake. They can drown, and it has happened. So safety, if you're going to soak your snake, guys. So heading over, let's just head on over to, you might be able to see a mare up the back here. She is yet to shed, so we'll see how that goes when she does. Of course, Miss Tessa here has shed and did a brilliant job when she did. And she only just had a feed yesterday, so she's digesting. We can't see a pani. She's sort of digesting because she had those 3 little pinky mice yesterday. And I'm not going to forget my Lacey, who, even though she was unwell when she did shed last time, she had a beautiful shed. So that was a good thing, actually, but I'm sure it really did tire her out, being unwell and then having to go through that whole shedding process. So every snake behaves differently. Every snake does it their own way. Of course, the bigger your snake, the longer it will take for them to prime and to shed. And even the duration between shed differs. The bigger your snake, the longer it will take for them to prime, the longer it will take in between each shed cycle as well. So, they're forever growing. But as they age, of course, that slows down. So, I just wanted to do a little video about that, seeing as I have currently, 2, and of course I had a pani, but she's just shed. So guys, that's it, wrapping it up, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and thank you to everybody that has. It's going up, and that's fantastic. So no snakes out. I'm sure Lily will be out later. She was out quite a bit yesterday, actually. So I'm going to say ciao. Of course, always take care of yourselves. And I'll be back with another video real soon. Ciao.